Retry. So inside retry, H3 docs. So what's your project name? Ankita, are you there in meeting? Ankita or Mrunal or Rita, you three are doing this project, right?
Yes, sir.
What's your project name? You not paste that file inside this HT docs. Where is your project file?
She's not pasted, sir. Just a second.
Where is it? That project code. She is not in meeting.
Sir, she's given the name as mini project.
Mini project. Okay. But that in that name there is no folder here.
Yes, sir. She's not saved it there.
Then where is your project folder? Ask her. Okay, this is her. Okay, leave. So see here, she created one database, mini project database. So in that database, agent table and then booking details and billing details. So these three tables they created. Okay. So in agent, you can here you can see. So we are for agent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attributes are there. So 5 attributes are there. Means so for agent, agent needs to register. So in their project, agent need to register means you need to insert the data. So registering means we need to insert the data. So from where we need to get the data? We need to get the data from the front end. Front end means you have to design one HTML page. So for creating that user interface, so see this one is index page.php. Okay, so she named as index page. Wait. So we know that it's the structure of HTML, right? So this is the structure of HTML she created and then she give that name and then head part. This one is head part and then for background, sorry, body. Okay, body she created, but she closed that body here itself. But you don't do like this. Okay, and then form. Okay, this form is important because through forms only in HTML we can create an interaction between that user and the server. So here you see, so how to create a form, how many fields we need to create. So that is that number of input fields and then type of field will be depend on your requirement, means attributes requirement here in the sense attributes what you define. So if you want to insert that or if you want to register the agent means for that agent we need to accept these informations. So here that informations are what agent name, address, agent phone number, and then email and password is there. So now here how many information we need to accept, students? Here we need to accept the 5 different information for 5 different attributes. Okay, then we need 5 input fields. So now we need to create a 5 input fields. Okay, so in your HTML form. So wait, see, she created already. Okay, here she created one form and then here for that form she named agent name for first field agent name. So and then input type text and then agent name. Okay, so don't type it in a small letter. Okay, age and name, and then she fix some size for that particular input field. By default, it will accept 20 characters. So you can limit that one also. You can limit it to 10. If you want to make it to 10, then you can call this size and then you can fix. Okay, and then we have another one attribute, max length. By using that one also, you can limit the number of characters. So here, this one is for first input field, agent name, and then second one is agent phone number. Okay, for accepting phone number, she created one label. Okay, this label is a tag for representing the label, means that name we want to print, right? That label naming. Okay, and then this one, this input type text creates the text box to accept that data what that user will enter. Okay, and then phone number, and then text country name, and then okay, we don't want these things. Okay, so if you want, you can add. So, but for phone number, just I take phone and then input type text. This is enough. Okay. And then this name is important. And then next one is for label for address. Okay. Address. To add to label here. Okay, label. So, and then for address here, she taken text area. Yes. So in input type text, if you call, so in that input tag, it will create only single box. So in that a single box, you can accept the input. Only one rectangular box you can get for accepting the user input. But if you want to create more number of data, or if you want to store more number of data, are you observed in some websites? They given space for this one. Comments. So for comments, they given a number of rows and columns. So if you want to create multiple rows and columns, so then you can call this text area tag is there. This one is also one of the form tag. So that will accept more than one line. More than one line if you do data, if you want to accept. So then you call this text area. This one is pair tag, and then this contains two attributes, columns and rows. You need to specify rows and columns. So now 80 rows will be, sorry, 80 columns will be created and 5 rows will be created. And then for this also you have to give name. Okay, so I give name, as this name is very important, student. I explained in our previous classes also. Again, I explain. Okay, this one is very important. Next we see why this one is important. Okay, and then next you see this one, label email, label for email. So here email. Okay, input type email, and then id email, and then name email. So this id, if you want, you can give, otherwise you do. But id is very important because id is also another core attribute. Id, class, and all these are all the core attributes. So when you study that particular web application development html language, then you know the importance of that id and class. So now you don't worry about that one. So just now here for html forms, you worried about only that name. Okay, so now label for password, and then password is there. Okay, and then break. Okay, here she taken retype password, so this one is no need. So if you are using that retype password, so then you have to write a javascript. Through that javascript you can check that whether that password you entered are right password or wrong, by confirming in second input field. Are you observed in some website, they mentioned that email confirmation email. So for crash verifying what that email you enter is correct or not. Okay, for crash verifying that, retype email and then confirm your email once again, that another one input field they created. Okay, so now if we come to this one, so these 5 fields are for accepting that agent name, agent phone number, address, email, and password. We created 5 fields, 5 input fields. These are the 5 input fields for accepting that agent information. And then, so when these informations are created, so when this information are means when we accept this information, after accepting this information, we need to send to our database. So means we need to send to our server. Okay, so how we can send means we can send through a PHP. Without PHP you can use a different server side scripting languages, but now here we are using PHP. So now we have to write a code for PHP. Before, if you want to send that data to your PHP, so through this submit button only you have to send, or we can send it to submit. So this one, for this one you don't take this one as button, you take this one as input type submit. If you just to take button, it will create just button. So this button will not transfer your data. If you want to transfer the data to your server, so then you need to create input type submit, input type submit button. So don't take input type button. If you take button, that one is just a button. For that button it won't have any inbuilt meaning or inbuilt functionalities. If you take submit, it will have some inbuilt functionality. So then where these data will go, will go to our PHP page. So that PHP page you have to specify in action. Action is equal to agent register, agent reg. Okay, agent reg dot php. Now I create one PHP page. Okay, and then method is very important. In which method data we need to transfer. Here we are using HTTP protocol. In HTTP protocol we use mainly two methods. One is post and get. So in that, post is very secure. That post method you mentioned here. So now this file where we need to save. So I save this one inside htdocs. So you save your file inside your htdocs only. Don't save it in desktop or anywhere else. Okay, go to C drive. C drive, in C drive, XAMPP is there. Okay, XAMPP inside htdocs. You create one folder for your project. Okay, I create folder mini project or mini PRJ. So mini PRJ. So now I create one folder. Okay. So inside this folder I save. So your friend page you save as, so here agent register, no. So this one I save it as agent register dot php. Okay, you can save it by using HTML also, no problem. But in your code, if you have PHP, then only you save it in PHP. So here we don't have any PHP, only we have HTML. So you can save it by HTML. But if you save this one by using HTML, so then you can't add any PHP code. If you add that PHP code also, that PHP code will not get executed. That's why for best practice, you save by using PHP. Okay, agent register. Okay, so and then student. So I already explained, if you want to create any configuration, means if you want to connect your HTML to your server, for that we create one connection dbconfig file. I told you to create dbconfig file, because if you have that dbconfig file, so then no need to again add that connection in each and every PHP pages. Wherever you are going to insert, select or update anything, any SQL operation if you are doing, so in each file no need to add this entire code. Instead of that one, just we can add the link. For that I told you to create a db config file. Okay, so for local host, uh, I already told how to get the code. For getting that code we have to open what W3 school. I told you to refer W3 schools, right? Okay, so better you go to W3 schools, PHP MySQL connection. So type PHP MySQL. So here you see, so you get that W3 schools only. So in that you can go and scroll down here. You get see. So this one will be the connection information, open connection information. So in this you get some object oriented and all, but in that you select only that procedural oriented. Okay, because this one is very easy to understand compared to object oriented. So if you have a knowledge about that object and classes, then you go through that object oriented. Otherwise you go to procedure. So you, I told you already, but again I will tell you. So to copy this connection code, so this connection code you paste it here. So in dbconfig, this one, this file you save it as, in what name you save this file? What name I told you to save? db config dot php. In this name you save. And then here the thing is server name is same, localhost. In localhost we are running. Username is different. Username for exam by default root, and then password is empty, students. Okay, by default password is empty, and then along with this you specify your database name. So your database name is in what name you created your database name. So that name you have to specify here. Okay, here you see your friend is created a database in mini project, right? Oh, so I try. Wait. Localhost PHP myadmin.
Sir,
Uh,
sir, that is one Chrome you have to open, sir. This one is Google.
what? It's open, no? So here you see, here what database name you given, that name you type it here in DB name. So this one you need to type. Okay. So here DB name is mini project. So given mini project. Okay. And then here you see for executing connection. Okay. If you want to make connection for connection, so in PHP we have inbuilt function called mysqli underscore connect. Okay. So this will accept these four parameters, these four argument values. So one is server name, we already passed, username already passed, password already passed. After password, you add this database name what you created. Here you can see, if you try to enter that new value, it will show. So which are all the parameters it will accept. Okay. So the database name you specify here. So database name. Okay. So and then you just save this one, and then you don't connect, means if you before try to use this db config in your php codes, first you have to check whether it will connected or not, or it will facing some errors or not. Okay, how to check means you go to any browser. Okay, so you go to any browsers, in this you type localhost. So where you saved your file, so you saved your file in localhost, right? So in localhost only. So in localhost your folder name. Okay, what folder name we given, students? Okay, so I got inside hp docs mini underscore mini hyphen prg, no? So that folder name you type here. Okay, means your project folder name, mini hyphen project I given. So inside this we have that db config file, db config dot php, right? Or file name. So that you enter. So if you get this connected successfully, means so this file will, means this code, this db config dot php is working fine without any error. Okay. So when you get this connected successfully output, otherwise if you get some error means we are facing some problem in connection means only we face problem in this database name or user id and password. So if you just installed exam, if you not change your user id and password, means by default user id is root, password is empty. And then here you should be careful, you should specify your database name, don't mention your table name and all. So many of you are facing that same problem. Okay, you mention your table name, and then if you specify your table name, how it will work, right? So that's why. Okay, here only if you get error means here only you will get that errors. And then in connection, if you copy this code in w3 schools, so there they not mention the database name. This database name you should create. Okay, you should create the variable, and then you assign your database value, and then that one you passed as an argument here. Okay, after you get that gets connection successfully, then you no need of this one, you remove this check connection. Because if you not remove this get connection, means the check connection, so this output will be displayed in your website we don't need this connected successfully message and all. That's why you remove this one and then save. That's it. So next is you have to use this include this db config in wherever you are going to insert, update, or delete the data. So now here we created that agent register.php page, right? So now we check whether this page is working fine or not, or that input fields are created or not. So how to check? So again you go and then type localhost and then mini project. Inside that mini project, I created a file called agent register.php. You type your file name and then execute. See here. So now in agent register.php, we created 5 fields, right? One is agent name for accepting agent name, phone number, and then another one is address, and then email ID and password. Okay, and then submit. Okay, now this submit will send the data to where it will need to send. So agent reg.php. Are we created agent reg.php page? No. So now you create. So you create a new file and then this file you save as agent register.php. Okay. So for this file, now what we are going to do, registration means we need to insert the data. For inserting data, okay. For inserting data in MySQL, you go and check MySQL code to here you type MySQL PHP code to insert the data. Code to insert data into database. Here you can see you get that metadata. So again you get the W3 schools. You click on it. So here you get the code. So here you go to procedure oriented and then don't do anything. You copy all these things. You copy all these things. Entire thing you copy and then paste it here. So here you see students. So for these informations, are we already created one file or not? Are we already created file or not?
Yes, sir. DB config.
DB config. You delete this entire thing and then you add that file. How to add? Include. Include is the keyword. Include within double quotes. So you enter that file name. Within double quote, you enter that file name db config. dbconfig.php. That file name you add and then end with semicolon. That's it. So then that connection will be included, just like header file what you included in your C programming. Now I included that dbconfig file to this file. So why we need to create separate dbconfig means, so like this here we created one file for insert data, right? Like this we create n number of files for one project. Suppose assume, so you change your database name. You change your database name means, so if you not create dbconfig means, so you have to change that database name in all the files. For example, if you create 50 PHP files for executing this SQL queries, 50 different types of queries you are executing means, you need to create 50 different files. So in all that 50 different files, you need to change your database names. Okay, so there that work will be redundant. The same work you have to do. So instead of that one, if you create one separate file, so now if you want to change the database means, so we are not go and change it in all the files. So instead of that one, just we change the database name here. So then the database name is updated in all the files. Okay, that's why it's a best practice to create a separate db config file. Okay, if you have any changes, if you want to change database name or user ID or password, anything if you want to change, so you can change it in one place, that will be applied to all the files. Okay, so that's why I told you to create separate db config. So here now the file we included, and then the next thing is very important. So when you press submit button here, okay, when you press submit button, so the data is what we entered, what that user will enter here, all those information will be transferred to this php page. So for this, when you press submit, see, when you press submit, so all this information what you enter, so that will be transferred to your file agent register.php through http protocol. So that protocol accept that information or get that information with one label. That label is your name. That's why this name is important. So what data that user will enter here, okay, here. this in this input field. So these data will be transferred by your HTTP protocol. So along with this data, that protocol for this data, okay, for this data, it will attach one name that is the label. Okay, we can call it as label. For that we need one label, right? Reference. Okay, that reference is your input of field input field name. Okay, that's why this name is very important. Now in along with this name, the data what user enter, that will come. So that what the data will be coming from that HTML form or HTML form. So now it will transfer to this agent register.php. Now we need to accept. Okay, accept and store it in variables. Okay, so in PHP variable we declare by using dollar symbol, and then agent name. For agent name I take it as a name. Okay, age name. So how the data will come, in which method the data will coming in, the data are coming in post method. So we have to use super global variable post. So within this code, within the, you have to use square braces. Okay, dollar underscore, that post is in capital letter. Okay, that one is keyword. Okay, so post, and then within that flower braces, within single quote, that label along with which name the data are coming, that label you have to specify. Agent name, this name you have to specify here. Okay, so now that agent name, in the agent name label, what data that from HTML form that HTTP protocol will bring, so that will be stored in dollar underscore a name. Like this for phone number. So I create another one. So I just copy this one. Okay, so I create another one variable, that is dollar phone number for storing phone number. So dollar underscore of phone number. For phone number, what's the label? The label is phone. So you copy this phone and then you paste it here. Okay, phone. Okay, like this for address. So I name that variable as add. So for address, what that label be given? Add. So this add. So add. Okay, and then next one is what? Email ID, right? So for email ID, so you change this one to email. So here what name they given? So here then you given as email only. Copy this email. So and then you paste it here. So and then next thing is password. No, for password the name is pass. So copy this one and then here you paste. So I create another one variable. So pass, and then here you paste that password. Again that pass also given pass. Now what the data will be submitted by what the data will be transferred from HTTP protocol after you press submit button. So all those data we collect through post method and then we save it in this variable. But if you want to interact with your server, we need SQL queries. So for now you write a query. So that query you write and then assign to one variable. So what's the query? Insert into, for inserting data, insert into table name. So what's your table name? So you go and check it in your database. What's your table name? So table name is what? So agent. So that the table name you type here. Insert into agent. So now when we mention that attribute names, all attribute names while you are inserting data. So when we are not enter all the attribute values. Now we are entering all attribute values. So if you are entering all attribute values, no need to mention the attribute names. So then directly values. So values we know. So values, these 5 values we store it inside this variables, 5 variables. So that 5 variables you passed here. So but while you are passing, you have to check the data type of your variables. So here for except phone number, for other parameters, for other attributes, all are varchar. So first is what? First one is a name. Okay, for a name you pass. A name we store it in dollar underscore a name. So for a name data type is varchar. If it is varchar, then you put that one inside single quote. And then next one is address. Address is also in varchar. So here you have to follow this order, your database order. Otherwise, data misplaced. Okay. So if you pass second value as phone number, then in address phone number will be stored. Okay. So you follow that order. You carefully observe that order and then you pass that values. So address, and then next one is what, students? Next one is phone number. So for phone number, integer. For integer, no need to specify any single code. Okay, directly you mention that variable name. And then email is also in varchar, so that one you put it inside single quote. Okay, and then next one is password. So then password copy, and then that one is also in varchar, we paste it in. So now we got all the five information, and then we created a query. So this query you store it inside one variable. So within double quotes you store it in one variable. This one you pass as a string. So now query is ready, connection is ready. So then you execute your query. So for executing this query, MySQL underscore query. So in a DB config for execute connection, MySQL underscore connect. So for executing queries, we have MySQL underscore query. So for this, we need to pass two parameters, arguments. One is connection. The first one is connection and SQL. So we already created connection, and then that connection file already we imported. So in that connection, that output will be that connection output will stored in $conn in this variable. So that's why we mentioned that code here, and then we created a query. So this will execute your query, and then it will stores the data. If there is no error, any error, so then it will stores the data in your database, and then it will print a output new record created successfully if there is no error. If there is any error, so then it will print the error message. What error will come? Now let's see. Now we all created, no? So now I go and execute my code. So I refresh this one. Okay, agent name. So now I enter agent name has ABCD, and then phone number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, and then address. So you enter your address, and then email ID. So email you should enter it in same format only, in email format only. Otherwise it will not accept, because we take input type email, and then password you can give any password. So I give 1 2 3. Okay, 1 2 3. So now you press submit. So see, new record inserted successfully, because without any error, we created our code. So then new record created successfully. So now if you want to verify, see students. So here before no data is inserted. Now I click agent table. So see that new data what we entered now, that data will be stored. But this data mismatch occur here. Data mismatch occur here. So why? Because so address and then email ID. So see here, address and email ID will be swapped here. They both are swapped. Okay. Why they swapped? See students here. For email ID, so here I change that one. Are you observed here? For email ID, dollar post of name. What name I mentioned here? Add I mentioned. For email ID name is what? Email ID input name field name is what? Email ID input field is email. Okay, and then for add email is there. Okay, here these two informations are changed. That's why. So I change this one to add. See, check. Okay, name is add. That name you have to specify. Now next time if you want to enter the data, so that data will be stored properly. So now the data is inserted. So if the data is inserted successfully without any error, so then no need to print this message. Instead of this message, you can print other message also. So you can print other message also. So and then after printing that message, or after printing that statement, next we go to the new page. So here instead of echo, so instead of the new data inserted successfully, you print a echo. Inside this you type a style tag. I shared that code I think on that day. Use that code, students. Use that code to go back, and then header location and all that code I shared in group. So use that code, and then you add that style. Okay, JavaScript that will display the pop-up message, and then you go back to your registration page. Again you go back to registration page, and then you tell that register successfully, register successfully, login now. You give login now. Okay, give login now. And then here you don't print this any error message. Instead of that error message, you type registration fail, check once, like that you print registration fail, try again. So like this messages you type, okay, and then try again. After that, you add that header location and go back to your registration page only. So now I try to insert new value. So I refresh, okay, and then I go back. So see, I enter new data. Okay, phone number, okay, email address, password 123. So now I submit data. So here you see we got an error here now. So error in 14th line. So what error 14th line? So here you see I am not in this echo statement with semicolon. Okay. So after that you go and refresh. So that registration fails. Try again. So wait. I refresh. So try to insert new value. Registration fails. Try again. Wait. Why? So we don't have any errors here. Okay. Agent DB config. Okay, DB config is correct here. DB config agent name, phone number, add. Okay. See students, for add don't use add. No problem. We use add also. Last time it got executed. It got executed, right? Okay, I save this one and then let me train again. Okay. So, this one here. Agent register, no? Agent register. This file. Okay, try once again. FS phone number, I enter 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this value, and then so it's not accepting autofill, I think. Password 1 2 3. Okay, see. So that auto fill it will not accept. Registration successful. Login now. Okay. So now you check that data will come now. So another one entry will come. Okay. So that name and then address, phone number, and then email and password. This one is registration form student. So after successful registration, you add that header location function here, and then you redirect to that previous page. Okay. So now login is there. Okay. For login form, you have to create another one form. So for login form, you don't do anything. You just copy this one. So here you give heading. This one is agent registration. So you type heading as agent registration. Okay. So and then for login, I save this one and then I copy the same code and then I create new file and then paste it and then I save as this one as agent login. Agent login.php. Agent login.php. So here where is the code? Oh, agent registration. Okay. So agent registration is there, no? So here I mentioned agent login. So I give heading as agent login. For login information, so we need email ID and password. That is enough. Okay. So login. So no need of this agent name, phone number, address. Only we need agent, email, and password. And then for login, again, we create separate PHP. So in login, we are not going to insert, we are going to check the data is present or not. Okay. So for that, you use the same code, Control A, Control C, you create new file. Okay. And then you save this one as, save as a login dot php, a login dot php. Okay, so here in agent login, now for this one, which page we created? A login we created. So that page you have to specify. You change this address. Okay, if you not change this address, it will again go back to agent registration, not login. Okay, and then the submit button. Okay, and then here we accept only two information, students. Which two information? Okay, include db config you need to include, and then only we are accepting email ID and password. So then it's okay. So here, if you want to get the code, for that code, you go to your browser and then check PHP code to check username and password from database. So then you get the codes. Okay. So click here, you can select any one of the website, you visit that websites and then see. So in which website you get a correct code, and then that one is, see here, select the star from user where username is equal to this name. Here select query we need to execute. So you copy just this code, this part you take only this part, copy this one, and then you paste it here instead of this one. So we have to use, so don't delete this MySQL file. Okay, select the star from agent, no, agent table. So your table, you change your table number, change to your table number. Agent where username, no username. Here we consider email, no. So your database name, in database, what attribute name you given, that you have to enter here. So here what attribute name we given, students? Attribute name is what? For email, and then password, right? So that one is case sensitive. So for email, and then password is in P, no? So P capital, in capital, and then here that email ID is what? Here we store it in $email. So that you paste password $pass, this pass. So after that, you execute this query. Okay, so and then you are using $result. So $result, this query we need to execute. Here the for connection we use conn. So that conn you need to type it here, and then SQL. Okay, for what variable you define, that same variable, and then fetch array $result. So many fetch arrays are there. So if it is fetch some value, means if you have some rows, number of rows, so that number of rows will be assigned to this check. Okay, so otherwise it will not check that row value will be 0. In if value is 0 means condition failure. If value is 1, more than 1, okay, so 1 2 3 4, that positive integer values, so then it will print success. Okay, so instead of this one you can also print some message. So now I just use this code. Okay, now for login, we execute login form, agent login, right? So here what we have to type. So instead of registration, agent login dot php. So now you see agent login, email ID and password. So here you see you take any one of the email ID @gmail.com 123. So now you have to check whether that one is there or not. Okay. So you change that title also. So a@gmail.com. So I give 1 2 3. So and then press submit. So we have an error in 16th line in a.login. So go to the a.login 16th line. So I added one extra. So for if, okay, and it's only two is there, no? Okay, I save. Go back and then refresh. Continue success. Success indicate what? That user ID and password is there. So now I change this one to 4 and then press submit. Failure. Failure means so there is no user ID and password. Okay. user email is not at register, like that message you enter here. Okay, registration login successful, that message you can print. Login successful. Here email ID or password incorrect. So like this message you print. You can also print. So now I refresh it again and then I give that the same email ID with 1, 2, 3. So see, login successful. Okay, and then I refresh it again and then here at gmail.com password 1234 I give. So this password email ID is not there. So email ID or password is incorrect. So this message is displaying. So the same method, same message can display it in pop-up format by using JavaScript. So that code I shared, use that code. Okay, and then the thing is how to create a login and registration form. So here you just created, I just show the sample, but now how to integrate, sir? So for integrate, first for agent, if agent wants to log in, so for agent, you first display the login page. This login page you display. Okay. So for this login page, below this you add one extra code for this agent login. Okay, below this form. Take H3. One heading, one statement you print. Not at register. Are you not at register? Register here. Are you not at register? Click here to register. Register. Okay, one this statement you print, but click here. This click here you make it as URL. Okay, so how to make this one URL, sir? For this you add anchor tag. So href, we already have registration page, right? So what's our registration page? Agent register, right? Agent register.php. So this page is there already. So this one, this click here, you put it inside this anchor tag. So now this one will become a link. Okay, see, wait. It become a URL now. See, are you not at register? Click here to register. So now you will click, so it will redirect you to agent registration. So now they will register. So after register, so you redirect that one, this one to that login page. Okay, first for user, for agent, he wants to log in. First, you for agent, you display this registration page, not login page. Okay, you always display the registration, sorry, login page. Okay, you display agent login, agent login. See, so if you enter the, if you display this one, if we already registered, then you enter his email ID and password, and then you register. After he register successfully, so then you redirect him to your home page. Okay, your home page path you have to specify. Where you specify that home page path, you specify in your this login PHP code. So if it is successful, in successful, so here you add header location. Okay, header, I told you, right, that function header location. So this code I shared, I think. Okay, so you use that code. Okay, header location, and then you go to your home page. If it is failure, after you print this message, you redirect to your login page again. Login page again. Okay, that path you have to specify. So and then you tell him to log in. Okay, with the correct user ID and password. Otherwise, he is not at register. So tell him to click here to register. So if you click this one, so then it will register. So after it will successful register that user, okay, you redirect him to here in registration. So registration not where is this registration? Okay, agent registration. Okay, agent registration here after registration successful login now. So after this, after printing this message by using script, then you redirect him to that agent login. Okay, like this you can make a registration and login form. I hope you all understand this concept. Anybody having doubts? Other doubts? Are you all in meeting, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Still anybody having doubts regarding login and registration? So if you work for this login and registration form, then you can easily execute your other queries also. Same thing only. So there we have we change that our queries in SQL part while you are creating PHP page. So according to your operation, what you are going to do. For example, if you want to update something, instead of that select or insert query, you have to execute or you have to write that update query, and then in select query itself, if you want to implement join operation, that query you execute and then that output you print. So for printing that multiple select query values, so for that you go to that one, stop share no, you go to W3 schools only. In that you type, or in your browsers you type PHP code to display that selected data from database in table format or in form format. So like that you type and then you get that codes. By using that codes, you can display your contents. So in that example, what I showed your friend in that project, they just that plain design. For that, just you add one background color or background image, and then try to move the data to the center. Okay, then it looks if you wait for another 5 minutes, I will show you just one sample code. So I share that screen again. Right. So for this not registration, I take login point. So for this agent login, okay, this page only, for this page only. Now I want to move this one to center. So here right click on your browser, take inspect, select inspect. So here you get 3 dots. So in that you take horizontal view. So select this one. So this one is search option, and then move your cursor to agent. Okay, close this one. Okay. So then it will move to that H1. So in this H1, so you just add align, text align, text align center. Okay, then that agent login will move to the center. Okay, where to add, sir? Okay, this one is agent login, right? So here you have to use style attribute. Style is equal to, within double quotes, you take text hyphen align colon center. Okay, then your data will move to the center. So see, this data will move to the center now. It's in center now. For this one, if you want to put it inside this form. For this form, if you want to put a bracket, for form you call this style tag. So same you copy for this entire form. Okay, instead of align center, call border attribute. Border colon 2 pixel solid black. So this one is black color. Save it and go back and then click. Okay, for this submit button, border is created. Okay, so but this sorry, for form border is created, but it will fix it to entire 100% width. That border is fixed for entire 100% width. So for that you do one thing, you call another one property, display in line. Okay, display in line, and then you give some padding space. So padding means between that input field and then your border, some space will come, 20 pixel. So it will create it like, wait. So instead of this display name, you can make it with 400 pixel. Okay, so now you see one form is created with this button. No? So this one, if you want to move to the center, so for that you can use margin. So margin left, from left you, if you want to move margin left to 400 pixel you take, and then if you want to give background color to this one, you give background hyphen color, background hyphen color, right to FF00 FF. Save and then move here and then you check. See, one form is created, no? This form. So like this, you can add simple designs. Okay, so don't make it complicated. Okay, and then don't worry about that front end designing. So I need this type of forms. That's it. To accept the user input and all. So this one, if you want to move to the center, again you use the same style is equal to align center. Okay, the same code you paste it here. Same CSS you paste it there. Okay, and then you refresh. See, and then for your entire body, okay, for body she added one image here. So I don't know where exactly this image is there. It's in desktop. So that image, if you want to add, I told you to create which image. Okay, there is no image here. No? Users pictures. Okay, in pictures this image is there. Pictures. Okay, in that picture, so download to user. So this one download 3. You just copy this image and then go to your HDocs. I told you to create one folder, right? In the name of, see how many pages we created here. Folder img. So inside this img, store this file, JPG format. So copy the file name. So click F2. So rename, copy it. So download 3.jpg. So that file we have it in our folder. Okay. So here for background, just you type img slash that file name dot jpg. That's it. Background, right? And now you go and refresh. So that image is not loaded. Yeah, see that image is loaded. So like this, your design is created. Means just I take this reference. So you can take another design and then you can attach that background image to your entire body. So one means you can see. So like this, you can design. Wait, background. Okay, so okay, in your projects also students, so you can make this simple design. Okay, but the thing is we need mainly the data. Okay, the data you should represent properly. Okay, I hope you all understand this concept. Somehow you understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. Okay, now I think you have this class. Which class? Maria Madam will take class now. Okay, you join to Maria Madam class. So if you have any doubts, afternoon I will take class again. afternoon first hour. So in that we discuss.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes.
So what will happen if you have registration page and login page in the same HTML file, sir? We can do that, so like one form
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
login and one form for register, and we
Yes.
can switch using a button, sir. We can do that, no, sir?
Yeah, you can do, but you have to create separate form. For
Okay.
login, you create separate form, and then registration, you create separate
Yes,
form.
sir. Forms are separate, but we are switching using button, sir.
Yeah, you in single page you can create your entire website. No problem. But for
Okay.
each functionality, you have to create a separate forms for each data what you are going to accept.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, do we have to make admin dashboard for admin
Hmm.
login, sir?
ಒಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಅಶ್ವಿನಿ tell.
Sir, do we have to make admin dashboard for admin login, sir?
Yeah, admin dashboard you have to create. In that only you have to show that admin what that admin can do and all.
Sir, in PHP, my admin can't be.
PHP admin. I am not
Sir?
understand your doubt. Tell me properly. Tell your doubt properly.
Sir,
I'm
I
not
will say
getting your
next class. I will say next class.
next class. Okay. Okay, now you all join to Maria Madam class. Can we meet in afternoon class?